Hello students of Standard 9. We completed the meaning of Renaissance. We completed the we completed the meaning of Renaissance. We completed only two causes as per the new syllabus, that is new trade route and the invention of printing press. In today's video, this is the new revised syllabus what you have to study. In today's video, I'm going to explain you about the impact of Renaissance and impact of Renaissance in the field of art. So you can see here that the Renaissance did not merely lead to rebirth of learning but also the rebirth of art. I taught to you what is Renaissance. It is the rebirth or the revival. Okay, rebirth. So it is not only rebirth of learning, it is also a rebirth of art. So when we speak about rebirth of art, what type of rebirth of art we are talking about? Here, they adopted new artistic methods such as frescoes or for wall picture, oil color and woodcut, and they studied optics and geometry and used their knowledge to develop perspective in their paintings. They also studied human anatomy to find the mechanism underlying gesture and expression. So this is in the field of art. The next we have Leonardo da Vinci. Now Leonardo da Vinci was a painter, he was a sculptor, he was a great musician and he was a scientist. Okay, now here at some point in the early 1490s, Leonardo da Vinci began filling notebooks related to four broad themes. Now, what are these four broad themes? It's painting, architecture, mechanics, and human anatomy, creating thousands of pages of nearly drawn illustration. His paintings, some of his famous paintings are The Virgin of the Rocks, The Last Supper, and Mona Lisa, the great masterpiece of art. So, new technique, why we say masterpiece of art? It's because new technique were adopted in his painting to give a fine feeling of reality. This is about Leonardo da Vinci. The next we have impact in literature. Now when we say literature, the most significant impact of Renaissance on literature was the use of local languages. It was the use of local languages instead of Latin in the Middle Ages. So here we will be doing about William Shakespeare. He was an English poet, playwright, and actor who is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world preeminent dramatist. So he is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Often called England national poet and a Bard of Avon. So here, with the exception of Romeo Juliet, now except Romeo Juliet, with the exception of Romeo Juliet, Shakespeare's first play were mostly historical dramas, and these dramas were Richard II, Henry VI, Henry V. He also wrote several comedies during his early period, and these comedies were Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night. It was only after 1600 that he wrote tragedies. And these tragedies, which are these tragedies? These tragedies were Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, and Macbeth. This is about Shakespeare. The next thing which you have to remember, impact on science. And when we speak about impact on science, Renaissance marked the beginning of modern science. It marked the beginning of modern science, and here we'll be doing about Nicolaus Copernicus. He was a mathematician, astronomer who formulated a model of the universe that placed the sun rather than the earth at the center of the universe. Okay, so here he developed a new theory. Okay, Copernicus based his theory, it was heliocentric theory. Copernicus theory was heliocentric theory. And what is this heliocentric theory? There is no one center of all celestial circles or spheres. The center of the earth is not the center of the universe, but only of gravity and of lunar eclipse, lunar sphere. All the sphere revolve around the sun as their midpoint, and therefore the sun in the center of the universe, and the earth has more than one motion, turning on its own axis and moving in a spherical orbit around the sun. So you studied today its impact of Renaissance on art, where you studied about Leonardo da Vinci. You studied about literature, where you studied about William Shakespeare and his dramas, some comedy dramas, tragedy dramas. Okay, then you studied about science and Niccolo Copernicus and his Copernicus based his theory, that is heliocentric theory, and you studied about heliocentric theory. So please learn this heliocentric theory.